You're listening to the Paranormal Peeps on the Darkcast Network. Come to the dark side of indie podcasts with the Darkcast Network.
We have cookies. Between the realm of the dead and the journeys of the living, join Josh, Jamie, and Elisa as they delve into the vast world of the paranormal and breathe life back into the history of the departed.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. And I'm Elisa.
I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Jamie.
And we have some guests today. And can you talk to us about your paranormal team?
Yeah, of course. So the name of our paranormal team is Hidden Realms Paranormal. If you look it up on Facebook, it does say Hidden Realms Paranormal SLC because we are in Salt Lake City.
Awesome.
Which is an awful city in the state of Utah. I mean, wait.
What?
Why?
I don't know.
You got nothing.
I don't.
So we want to talk to you about all the things that got you into the paranormal and exciting things that you've seen. Can talk about anything that you want to promote. So let's start at the beginning. What got you into the paranormal?
You want me to go first? Is that your hand?
Yours is better than mine, so go for it.
All right. So the first time I ever saw a spirit, it was my great-grandmother. I did not know she was dead. And it was just like, hey, mija, come over. She didn't say mija. She wasn't Hispanic, but I grew up in a Hispanic community, so it comes to me. But, come over here. I want to talk to you. Like, how's your day? Give me a hug. And she had this wooden rocking chair that she would sit in. And as I got older, probably around my teens, my uncle and a few of my cousins were like, yeah, we had to move that to the back room. We got tired of watching it rock on its own. It's obviously haunted, and it's probably Granny who's haunting it. And I was like, yeah, I remember her sitting in it. And they're like, no, she died in the 70s, like years before you were born. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe that was something. Then in my teens, I was living there and she woke me up one night, slaps me on the head. So she hit me because I apparently was doing something I shouldn't have been, probably messing around with a boy. But yeah, she's always stayed with me. And then I nearly died in 2014. I had some really crazy experiences. I reached out to Paul Welch, who we talked about earlier, who was on Badass Spirit Outlaws, and he got me in touch with his then wife. They're now divorced, Jennifer. And then from there, it kind of just started, and I was on their team for under a year, and I met Nate, who started Hidden Realms, and from there, it just kind of grew. It was just a passion and kept going.
What about you?
Mine's kind of the same as most general people. I always had strange things happening when I was a kid and things like that. As I got older and into high school and things like that, I had friends who were kind of interested in the same stuff too. Some were, Wiccan and things like that. And so that kind of led me down the path of what's causing this, what could this be and whatnot. And then of course, the Taps Ghost Hunter show came on in the early 2000s, and that kind of got me sparred really into doing it and whatnot. And just kind of from there, I've been on a couple of teams over the decades, and right now, that's what I do for Hidden Realms. I'm the, I don't know.
We bumped him up. He's now a team lead like me.
Ooh, promotion.
Yeah, I got a promotion apparently.
Nice.
But I'm kind of the team debunker of evidence and things like that.
He does. He breaks my heart all the time. He's like, no, Sarah, no.
Yes, I know. Sad to say, I know. But yeah, that's kind of it as far as that goes.
Awesome. In your team, what do you guys like to do as a team? So what are the things that you do? Public hunts? Do you do, all those sort of things? What is it that you guys like to do?
I would say my main passion is education. Yes, we do all the other stuff, but what it comes down to is education. That's why we do this.
Probably my favorite thing to do is house cases or just new places that we've never been before. And just, even if people have been in the area before investigating things like that, just being a first time for myself, being able to go to some of these places, some of them being historic, locations and things like that, just exploring and, something happens, that's even better. But that's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah, I love doing, we haven't done home investigations really, but
We did one.
Yeah, but I was on another team. We did a lot of home investigations, and I would say those were actually my favorite.
They're
because great. You get a lot of evidence from home investigations, more so than when you go to a place that's been overly taken over by these paranormal groups every weekend, or where there's so many investigations going on. It's almost like okay, this person's like, we're done.
We're bored.
We don't want to
Yeah.
entertain you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's really cool.
What was the first place you guys, each one of you, investigated? What's your first paranormal investigation you guys did?
As a team or individual?
No, individually.
Oh, geez, I got to think back.
Oh.
That's been a hot minute. Probably one of the first investigations that I actually ever did was at the Union Station up in Ogden.
Okay, jealous.
This was way back in the day. I had a friend who worked for the Granite Peaks continued adult education class. His name was Tom Young, and he would do beginner ghost hunting classes, things like that. And I'd known Tom for quite a while, but he had connections to get into a lot of places that no longer even allow you to call him and ask. And he got us up there to investigate, and it was just an awesome time. I mean, we had a part up in the ballroom up at the very top of the building where the ballroom is at, but we had balls and other toys that were just laid out on the ground, and we had them rolling back and forth. I mean, there was intelligent, responses.
Oh, that's awesome.
To stuff we were asking. It was just amazing. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life still. But yeah,
Sounds amazing.
See, that's what we wish could happen every time we go to an
Right.
investigation.
right? Move
That would
something,
be-
please. Just I don't even care if it's like 2 inches. Like
Right.
something
Something.
move.
But to
Yeah.
have it go back and forth, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I've been to some where you've seen people to get the yoga balls and like push it and then like it comes back, and logically in my head I'm like, you realize that's not spirit pushing it back. That's what it's going to do.
It's
but-
got a sandbag at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you I don't know. It's the thing. For me, not Camp Floyd, Fort Douglas. I was a paid one. I went with my brother and my sister-in-law. We went with Badass Spirit Outlaws. And so I got my first real scare. Like, you want to hear a scariest thing. It wasn't a ghost, I will tell you this. we were moved to this room, and there's like probably about 6 tables, and somebody showed up late, but nobody announced like, hey, we got somebody coming in late. They're going to come through that door, whatever. And I see a full figure, and I'm just like, oh my, like, ah! And then the guy goes, oh, sorry. And I'm like, oh, I feel like such an idiot. Yeah, that happened. But during that investigation, I'm like, something is just back here playing with my necklace. I can just feel it. It's just moving. And so Paul took a photo, and to this day, it's still on his page if you go and look. And he goes, I don't believe in orbs. He goes, but she said there's something playing with her, and there's a huge orb around her head. And you can see it's like just giant glowing orb.
Oh, wow.
So that was a really fun one for my first one. And that kind of, from there, I grew to love it. That was a really fun experience for me.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So were you part of Badass Spirit Outlaws then?
Not officially at that point. I had been talking with them because I had a demonic encounter after I nearly died. And I thought I was kind of going crazy. And I'm like, I've seen a psychiatrist. I've done all this stuff. And they're telling me I'm not crazy. So I'm like, what is going on? Because I grew up in a very Baptist household. I'm not Baptist now. I converted to Catholicism because I couldn't find a good Baptist church here. But
I hear you.
yeah. So for me, it was a lot of exploring what exactly happened and trying to answer the questions to myself, and I called my Baptist preacher. He had moved to Tennessee, but he was just like, the war has already been won. And I'm like, that's great, but I'm in it. This is happening to me now. It's not about the war being won later, because yeah, that is won, but I'm in this now. So that's kind of, from there, things happened and started moving forward, and look at me now.
Look what I can do.
So how long have you guys been into the paranormal? Like, how many years have you been doing this?
For me, that was 2016.
I've been doing this probably since about 2004, on and off with some different teams by myself. So a little less than a decade, I guess, give or take.
Are you aging yourself? I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
You're only aging yourself if you use a reel-to-reel as your first EVP recorder.
Well, then you aged me, because that's pretty much what it was.
Bring in one of those big disc tapes. Like,
Yeah.
I remember Sylvia Brown's like, you can just record while you sleep and like listen to it while you're washing dishes. And you're like, oh my gosh, what was that noise? And you're like, you farted.
They have apps for that now.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
No, I actually did get one though at my grandma's house, in the room where, so my grandpa had died, and we were there with my grandma, and she went out to the cemetery that day, and she goes, how come you never come visit me? Sarah heard you the night you died. Like, you showed up and pretended to be a ghost. Because he did. I woke up to like, ooh. And I was like, Papa, is that you? And he started laughing. And I'm like, oh, all right, great, funny. You're funny. Haha. But yeah, so that night she came home, she's asleep. And they had this little, like, the way that the room was set up is you had the bed was on one side. So she's sleeping with her head against that wall. On the other side, directly across, is a dresser. And there is this old little angel that used to sit on the tree. And it's 2 a.m. and it flew and hit her in the head.
Ow.
It didn't hurt because it was just styrofoam. But I mean, she kind of was just like, I remember she came in and turned on the lights. And she was, like, okay.
If you want a sign, here's your sign.
Yeah, exactly. So... Yeah, it was a good time there.
Do you guys have any special gifts, or are you guys sensitive to entities or spirits or anything?
He will say he's not, but
I'm
let me
not.
tell you,
We
the
have
first
one
time,
of those.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't claim to have any of them just because I don't feel like I have them.
Yeah, whenever he knows I'm in danger, he's the first one to call me before I've said a word.
See?
Intuition, then, I guess, is about the best I can say. No, I've always been the more kind of technical, scientific side, if I catch physical evidence kind of stuff, I guess.
The best part is when other people send him stuff, and he's like, you need to turn on your flash. You need to turn on your flash. And he goes, God, they're an idiot.
It's basic. You're going to take a picture of a dark room and then tell me you caught something. What the heck are you going to catch if there's no light for anything to reflect off?
Right?
Darkness.
And more darkness, apparently.
Yeah.
I have dream premonitions. Medical stuff. We talked about that earlier. I'll feel medical stuff. It's like the tuberculosis house. I felt like I just couldn't breathe. I didn't know it was a TB house. Hear things, see things. I don't know, all sorts of.
So how often? So, because some people feel like when you hear things and you see things that it happens all the time.
Oh yeah, no.
But the reality is it's not all the time.
It's very sporadic. And can you imagine you'd go insane if it were all the time? That's when you're having a psychosis. Go to the mental hospital and get checked in. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Right. So we want to for education purposes, because, that's part of the reason why we do the podcast is to educate on what really is ghost hunting. Right. And for people who have sensitivities or gifts, and if they say that they're right all the time, they're wrong.
Not.
They're wrong.
No.
Right. But also it's not a constant thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's where you tune into it and you're more open to it and you see it more or hear it more because you're open to it. Right. But for the most part, you're closed off and you're not trying to pay attention. Every once in a while, they'll slip in, but I don't know. I can't say that happens for you. But for me, it's like, I'm turned off. I don't want to deal with any of this right now. I need sleep. I need to function. Because as a teenager, I hardly ever slept because I didn't know really how to turn it off. Right.
Oh yeah. It sounds like a crowded restaurant. All you hear is everything at once and it doesn't make sense. It's dishes and people having multiple conversations and it's annoying. You don't want to hear that 24/7.
Well, and for me, I felt like somebody was constantly in my face. Try to sleep with somebody staring at you all the time, right in your face. You feel like, oh, they're only a foot away or 6 inches away from your face. And you're like, I
and
can't
even
sleep.
if you can't see them,
Oh, you know.
You feel it.
My cat would know. And my cat would circle my room. As soon as something was happening, he'd start circling the room, go to my door, start meowing, you can't come in here. And then he'd start circling my head and lay around my head. So I'm like, I knew I wasn't going crazy. If my cat is responding to all of this. So anyway, so it's not something that is completely constant and we can't see it all the time or hear it all the time, but it's more of when we are opening ourselves up to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm trying to think of how to word this. There are people that have asked us before, can you come up with a spell that will open up my gifts so that I can see and hear more? And we tell them straight out, no, we are not going. Could we do it? Yes. Are we going to do it? No. Why are we not going to do that? It's unethical. The people who do that end up going into the mental hospital for insanity. We are not going to do that to you. We are not going to be a part of that.
Right.
Now, even, for example, there's some very good psychic mediums here in town. I've been to a few of them. And even for them, they know how to ground themselves. They know how to protect themselves. They know how to turn it on and off. It's not a constant thing that they just allow to go on all the time, because they do need to have their own space.
Right.
One of the very first things I did at my house was I put up really good wards. So on all four corners of my property, everything like that. I don't end up doing cleansings that often. I just had to do one this past week. And even though I am Christian, I do use a lot of nature to help protect myself in my home. And I was looking at my jar, and sure enough, I was having some weird stuff happen. Open up my jar, and you could see where somebody had sent me something because the paper had turned black. And so that's one of the things I was like, okay, I got to re-cleanse. I got to do all the stuff and get this gone. But even then, I don't get a lot that happens in my home itself, because I know how to protect myself.
Yep. And how to protect your home and try to keep it safe. And because that's kind of like why I got into the paranormal, is because I was terrified all the time. Mm-hmm. Like as a teenager, knowledge is power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you don't have that, it's a lot more scary. So that's why I got into the paranormal, is because it was scary to me, but it was happening all the time. And I was like, the only way I'm really going, and I was calling my dad all the time and being like, can you please help me with this? I'm terrified. I can't sleep, and this is what's going on. And like, I stopped watching even like taps. I stopped. And that's like so nothing compared to like super scary movies or, anything like that. I just stopped everything, and it was still happening. So getting into the paranormal, understanding it, I'm not afraid of it anymore. Right. But it's knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that really helps a lot, instead of just wanting to instantly have all these abilities.
Yeah.
Like that's not safe. It's so not safe.
Yeah.
No,
it definitely.
I mean,
you're right on it.
it kind of reminds me of Bruce Almighty. Like, because he could hear everybody all at once.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like going from hearing nothing to hearing everything. Like, the amount of like mental strain that would go on in your mind at that point in time would be overwhelming.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, careful what you wish for in that avenue.
Right. Right.
So after an investigation, when you guys get done, like there's a lot of teams that have like a post-investigation ritual or something that they do or go or eat at or anything like that. Do you guys have anything like that?
We drive through Del Taco and go home and go to bed.
Right?
Yep, that's pretty much it.
great.
Sometimes I take a salt bath for a cleansing 9 times out of 10, just because I like to have that extra protection. But I need food and I need to sleep. I don't want to see anybody or talk to anybody for 24 hours. And this is interesting, is I was doing my blood sugars at investigations, like, because for a while they were like, are you diabetic? We don't know this and that. And my blood sugars would drop to the 60s.
Oh, wow.
After the investigation was over, and I was like, I need to eat now.
That's low.
And you wonder why you have the hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Your blood sugars drop so low. That's what's happening.
And we stopped drinking because, like, who wants to go pee in some of the places that you investigate? Like, some of these places are nasty.
Yeah. If you feel like you need a tetanus shot from using your restroom, we will be deferring you to a different team. I do not go to dirty houses anymore.
Right.
We leave that for dirty abandoned buildings.
Isn't that where like the paranormal depends idea comes in there?
Yes.
For those long investigations in gross places.
That's actually
Right?
a great commercial. I might buy some.
So you talked about you like to debunk and you like to
Yes.
find actual evidence. So what equipment do you like to use to do that?
A lot of it's just the basic stuff that people have, which is, voice recorder, video cameras, a lot of what I use, digital cameras as well too. A lot of the process as far as like debunking and things like that. If you're catching, say for instance, you take a picture with a digital camera and you're getting a really bright orb at one section of the screen over here, but then there's a sharp reflective surface down here. Hate to tell you this, but 99% is that orb you're seeing is the flash reflecting off the surface up this way. You know? And I feel bad when people come to me all the time saying, oh, I caught something, and I can see it. I'm not saying I'm right, but any skeptic is going to see this from that point,
Right. Right.
And if I can't debunk it, then I consider it myself being paranormal. It may or may not, it's just my opinion. There's no basis off of anything to go with. It's just from real world experience, knowing what this kind of stuff does.
Mhm.
The other part with like debunking and things like that, if people are feeling irritated all the time or like their skin's crawling and things like that, and if they're in an older home, the wiring and the shielding in there tends to be less than what it is in newer homes. So for instance, if they have necessarily bare wires around a
Right.
room or something like that, you've now just created a Faraday cage
Right.
and you're setting in the middle of an intense, electrical field constantly. Yeah, that's gonna
That's going to mess with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I've always approached that kind of stuff. That's what I like to do.
Yes.
And like you said, everybody has their own niche or
Right.
thing they're good at, and that's what mine is.
And that's where I think EMF detectors are critical on investigations,
Yeah.
just to be able to check that background
Mhm.
EMF, because anything over a 10 can cause hallucinations,
Headaches, nausea.
Oh yeah.
And-
The list is like 3 columns long on a single page. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It is nuts. And then we were at the Great Salt Air, and they have 2 magnometers that boost the electrical power, and they're on each side of the building. They kind of boost it and stabilize it. And one of them's right next to the stage entrance. I put my EMF detector next to it. It was 100.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Can you imagine being in that for a long period of time?
They're like, people just stand there and stand next to it and watch the show. And I'm like, guys, like, this is
You
dangerous.
start seeing
Especially
stuff
on
climbing out of the walls.
And like when you go do home investigations and when they're living in this 24/7 and their kids are freaking out and you're like, guess what?
Yeah.
This is really what it
And
is.
prolonged exposure, doesn't help the situation.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
feel like
that-
I'm being watched all the time. Well,
That house I was telling you about where she's like, the faucet's dripping.
yeah.
Her house, we did the baseline walkthrough. That's where, for you guys that don't know, we walk through a house, all lights are on, and we take a baseline walkthrough of everything, what the temperature is, what the K2s are reading at, so we can tell, is it a high EMF? Is it not? And her house was off the charts, and she had an electrician. We told her, call in an electrician, and they said, there's nothing wrong here. We don't know why you called us.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe nothing like outwardly dangerous. Like in other words, like an exposed wire,
Mhm.
Which most of them, that's what they're going to look for, is
Right.
anything that's
Yeah.
considered a fire hazard or anything
Right.
to that extent.
you got to wonder though, like, because some places have, if they're close enough to a cell tower or overhead high voltage transfer wires and stuff like that.
which we've
Like,
seen too.
Yeah.
yeah, which
And you have to look for all of that when you
Yeah.
go to any place. That's
That's why it's so good to have a debunker.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because then you get the reality check, and most homeowners are happy to hear it. Most of the time they're like, oh sweet, that's all it is. Okay, then I cannot worry about this. I don't need to worry so much. And I can realize, okay, realistically, it's just the electricity. You know?
I mean,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. I'm just like everybody else. I want paranormal stuff to happen
Oh, right.
all the time, but if I can think of an idea or something to recreate it physically similar to what
Right.
people are experiencing, I got to call,
Yep,
yeah,
the red flag on that one.
Yeah.
It's
totally.
Yeah.
Because we'd rather not have everything be paranormal
Yeah.
because it just makes it not fun.
Yeah.
Because it makes it so the things that are actually paranormal aren't as exciting. Because I drives me crazy when there are investigators or, even new investigators, people who haven't done it very often, who are like, bump, that was a ghost. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's one reason I cannot watch Ghost Adventures anymore.
Oh, neither
Yeah.
can we. It's so irritating.
And now that the community's like, oh, they're getting ready to, all the NDAs are, and I'm like, honey, we've known this for years. Anybody who really knows it has known this for years. It does not take a genius to know that they're full of BS.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
exactly.
What?
Oh, this is new to you, Josh?
Yes.
Sorry. Not sorry. So what type of things do you like to use? What type of equipment?
Oh, well, I have, what is the name of that one that I have? The SLS? Yes. Okay.
Oh, you have an SLS?
Mine's not a real SLS. It's one of the knockoff ones. It works just as good.
It's
and I
still an
didn't have to
SLS.
pay over $1,000 for it.
Good
I
job.
think I paid $600 and it's great, except for we need to get it updated. One of the newer ones I got is an IR light gun. So it will take a picture on the screen and I can flip through it to see, like, is that something? And it was really neat at Needful Things because I'm like, why is this like there's a blue outline when it should be red? So that was kind of a fun
That's
thing
cool.
to see.
Yep.
I love my voice recorder, my Tascam.
Oh, me too. I have a Tascam too.
Is the best.
Yep.
And when everybody's like, you get something on every time you go, and I'm like, it may not be the greatest thing. It may just be a thud, but I hear stuff.
Or
I'm
somebody's
at
stomach talking
least,
to 'em.
yeah, I'm at least sending him stuff going, hey, can you debunk this? Because I might have caught something,
Yeah.
which is what should happen is we should be sending it for a double check.
Yes.
Yep. We do the same thing too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jamie breaks my heart all the time.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
But like you said, it's that adage, right? If you think,
When in doubt, throw it out.
yeah, exactly. If there's a possibility that it's somebody talking or a shoe squeak or fabric rustling, because that can sound completely different on camera than it does to your, or on recording than it does to your normal ear, and you got to just toss it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we strive to put out what we feel is actual paranormal.
Yep.
Versus just any little thing that we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we made it a rule where if it doesn't pass your second eye, which is Ryan, it's not going up on the page.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see our page filled with tons of stuff. Also, we switched from a group to a page on Facebook and a website, which I've not uploaded anything on. It's so much work. But it has to stand that second test because
Yes.
we get too excited sometimes.
It's got to be able to stand up to criticism.
Yes, it does.
Like I
Yep.
said, looking at it from a skeptic's point of view, if you're putting thousands of pictures that are, orbs and things like that, I'm sorry, it's dust, and especially if you're in a room that has an air register over the top of it, and then all of a sudden
Right?
it's like snowing. I hate to tell you, but it's probably dust.
That's not a million spirits.
I've broken so many people's hearts with that,
Poltergeist.
Oh my gosh. It's like, no, I hate to tell you this, and I hate orb photos, and everyone on
Oh,
my
I know.
team
Yeah.
doesn't even send them to me because they know I hate them.
Well, and the thing is 99.9% of the time, there's a bug or a dust.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say there's never an orb picture or an orb
sure.
thing because there is every once in a great while. But honestly, most of the time,
It's
it's
dust.
Yeah.
dust or a bug.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with security footage, security camera footage that a lot of people get. They have something that looks like an apparition floating through something. I was watching something on the Travel Channel here a couple of weeks ago, and it was like caught on Paranormal or something
Yeah,
like that.
paranormal caught on tape.
And they had this video of this. It was just a normal living room. It was at night, and there was this weird flare that came across the camera, and to me, I'm pretty sure I know what it was a spider web that was catching the IR light.
Oh,
as it was
yep.
coming, and it
Yep.
arcs.
And
to
we've
this-
seen that. Mm-hmm.
And these guys are, it could be this, it could be this. I'm like, no,
Dude,
this
that's
is,
a web.
this is not national, but this is being broadcast to hundreds of thousands of people are seeing this,
Yeah.
and it's not paranormal. It's a dust. It's a spider web. It's something. you
Right,
know?
right.
And it kills me. It's like, how did this get onto a show that's supposed to, but of course, that it's clickbait more or less.
Right.
That's what they want it for. But when
Well,
you
we've
just,
even though had that just on our group pages where they'll send us something and
Yeah.
you'll look at it and be like, that's
it's just how I am. When I see something and people say it's evidence, my brain goes into analytical mode and think, okay, what's causing this? And that's the first thing that pops into head is something from the IR light that's illuminating the room is catching the reflection, and that's what's doing it. And
Right.
I'm just like, holy crap.
But that's also what makes it so great when you actually find something that is paranormal because people are going to trust you more.
Yeah.
If you're not going to just shoot out anything that might be clickbait, it's going to be more, like I say, trust. That they're going to believe that is something paranormal. So, which doesn't obviously happen as often as we wish it would, but
Yeah.
it's
Right.
so fun when it does.
It
so
is.
fun.
Well, and then it also comes down to the open-minded skeptic, closed-minded skeptic,
Right.
Yep.
and all those things. And I think at this table, we're all of the variety of open-minded skeptics. So
Yeah.
we know there's stuff out there. We know what goes on. But when we get something, we're going to try to debunk it, recreate it before we say it may be paranormal.
Yeah. Now, I've only caught one orb, and I'll show you guys because it's pretty gnarly to me. But my brother brought home this red chair right here from the DI. And you can see there's a little light back there. But he was complaining this entire time of like smelling piped smoke, this red chair here.
Yeah.
and then there's the orb right here.
there. Oh.
But if you just go this way
Oh.
and you zoom in, that's what, and you can clearly see there's a pipe smoking guy, 2 eyes. And that's the only time I've ever caught an orb where I would say that was most likely
Yeah.
what that was.
Yeah. See, there was one time I was on a home investigation, but we were actually at a cabin in the middle of the woods. And I was going, it was a log cabin. And hold on, I'm going to look at the picture.
Yeah, you might be able to see it better if you swipe it. 'cause
Just swipe.
Yes, if you swipe.
I don't know if it's left or right, but
One direction.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, he got rid of that chair the next day after I showed him this photo. He was like, hell no.
It's like, it's out.
So anyway, so I was at this investigation in a cabin and I was going up the stairs and it's open, right? There's a big loft up there on the second level. And it's basically just an open area with a guardrail, right? So, but I'm going up the stairs and they saw a visible orb following me up the stairs. So they're watching it. And I'm like, did you get a picture of it or anything? They're like, no, it's kind of like one of those things that you just like, you're not thinking because
stunned.
you're just in shock at the moment.
Watching a train wreck, you can't look away.
I know. Or like your kid's falling or something and it's going in slow motion, but you can't get there fast enough or do anything about it. Yeah, it was kind of one of those things. I'm like, oh man, how
That's-
cool.
That's why I say you can never have enough video cameras.
Mhm. You can
I will
even
agree
buy a
with that.
6-hour body cam for like $30, $40.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
you should buy 2 of them so you have one in your front and then
Right.
one on your back.
That'd
Yes.
be nice. I wear mine up like on my eyes because I had my breast kept putting up to the ceiling. And I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't work.
Minor malfunction.
The only thing is the IR light on it. It comes with it. It sucks.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
So what is some of the best or your favorite evidence that you've gotten or captured?
My best evidence that I've ever caught, and this was years ago at a place that I used to work, up in the attic area, they had an old style mannequin from the 1950s and 60s, retail window style ones. And, every place has ghost stories of, oh, there's this and that and whatnot. Well, the day prior to when I went up there with my camera and whatnot, somebody had essentially a furniture cart like pushed towards them, but nobody was there.
Yeah.
And so we went back to the corner that this was happening and everything. And I set my camera up and just let it record for about 2 hours, while we were shutting down the store and all that kind of stuff. I went up to go get it and some other people came up with me as well. And I had my K2 with me as well. And I figured before I grab the camera, I'll just do a quick walk past and see if anything's weird. The K2, completely flat, nothing whatsoever. Well, where that mannequin is standing, I walked past it, and I kid you not, no more than 3 seconds later, that mannequin does a 90-degree turn.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I've
Right.
seen it. I have
Whoa.
seen it. It's
It-
weird.
Made me about piss my pants. And I don't scare that easy. I'm a big dude. I don't scare that easy. And by far to this day, it's still the best evidence I've ever caught. And I have gone over it thousands of times, and I cannot find a way to debunk it.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
That's by far the best I've ever caught.
That's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah,
So-
it's a really great video. He should show you guys before we leave.
Yeah. see
Yeah,
if I can
that would
find
be
it.
awesome.
I have we did a house case out kind of near Spanish Fork, and as a guy living by himself, he did have some male roommates, but they weren't there at the time. And the staircase, there had been reports of like hearing a little girl. The kitchen, there was reports of a woman, and you could hear, we had just put out the like REM pod and different things kind of in there, and you hear a woman come on, and it sounds almost very monotone, and she goes, "No pushing buttons." And then you hear
Oh my
this
gosh.
little girl just like getting tickled, like,
Oh my
we were like, wait, what? And it was so exciting. And he still lives there, still lives by himself. Sometimes he has a tenant come in or two, but he's not afraid of the property at all. And it's really amazing. The other one, Vincent Gristmill, is with Mary, and she's arm length away from me. We're in the back of the mill taking photos. She captures nothing in the windows. On the top floor, that window, there is a man as clear as day to me, and he's got a suit on. He's got his hands up like this against the window looking out.
Oh, wow.
And for her to take the exact same photo just a few feet away, get nothing. At this point, as you guys know, you come in and it's pretty much all the buildings are locked until they open them.
Yep.
We had just got there, so they were still locked. They unlock it, they go in. So it was not me, it was Jen, Daniel, and Jesse, I believe. So they walk in maybe 10 minutes later, and there is that mannequin that's on the first floor, but this was not
Freaks you out every time you walk in the mill.
Yeah, so it was definitely not up on the first, on that last floor, but it was up on that main entrance floor. But they saw a full-figured spirit at the other end. So the mannequin was here on their left, and like they saw it down that way. So that was a pretty amazing night too. And I think that was like May of 2020.
That's so awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
That place has some of the craziest stories of paranormal activity.
It does.
I have gone there so many times, right? Like so many times. It's one of those ones, it's a cheap venue.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good about getting you in, and it's huge.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
16 buildings.
Yeah. And you can have quite a few people there and not be on top of, like, stepping on top of each other's toes if you spread out, right? But every time I go, I get something.
Yeah.
It seems like it went big or small, but it seems like every time I go, I get something.
Yeah.
Anywhere from like the campfire pit to the schoolhouse to the mill, the big mill. Like, I mean, anywhere.
I have a really, really weird story that I cannot explain this, so I'll just tell you. Back in 2020, I had bought this beautiful pink quartz, like a rose quartz pendulum, the brand new, and I'm like, oh, I love this pendulum, it's great. And I was out by the schoolhouse. I was with WildPod, Jared and Betsy. Actually, no, Jared was sick; he had COVID, so Betsy was there with their nieces, and lost the pendulum, just gone. Every year I go back and I'm looking. Well, this October 12th, our founder, Nate, he died. And then on the 15th, we had the investigation, which this was the place where I met Nate on Badass Spirit Outlaws. So for me, it was very cathartic of like saying goodbye.
Right.
Well, I have this ring that I wear. I don't know which one it was. But anyways, I think it was my heart, and it came off my finger. And we could not find it. And I was like, I know. I was like, Mary goes, yeah, I think Nate took it. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of think so. And I was like, look, I will get you your own ring, but I need my ring back. So I bought this ring here for Nate. Every ring I have other than my engagement ring is because it's symbolic of somebody who's passed on in my life. And so sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later, Mary's like, the ring, it just appeared out of nowhere. It's here. And I'm like, well, good. If you guys can do that, I want my rose quartz pendulum back. We go home, and I guarantee you, this thing, I have not had it for years. I have searched. I know what equipment was there because I clean it out every time. I put it in, what I'm going to take with me, whatever. Get home, clean it out. There's my rose quartz pendulum, but the tip is broken off.
What?
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird one.
So it was in your bag or whatever that you
it's like
take.
it's like a tool thing, like you would put your tools in. It's got a loose open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of a tote kind of thing.
And of course, you've opened that thing and seen all the stuff that's inside
I know
it tons
exactly
of times.
what was in there.
You've cleaned it out.
cleaned it out several times throughout the years.
Right?
There's no
Wow.
way.
That
No
is
way.
so cool.
Yeah, that was
Love
a
that.
trippy.
That is neat.
I'm like, now I just need you to bring back the piece. The piece that broke off, if you could please.
Well, I have a similar story to that one. My friend was visiting her parents in Ohio, and she called me up and she's like, Elisa, I need your help. I'm like, well, what's wrong? And she goes, my pillow's gone. She goes, now let me tell you, this isn't just a pillow. She's like, I need it because I have back problems and I literally cannot sleep without it. I'm in so much pain without that pillow. It's super important and I need that pillow back. I'm like, okay, so tell me like where you're at, like what's going on? She's like, I'm at my mom's. I'm in the basement sleeping downstairs with my husband and she's got her kids and whatever. She's like, I woke up, I made the bed, I put the pillow on the bed, I went upstairs, came back down, my pillow's gone.
Wow.
And she's like, she grew up and the family knows the house is haunted, but they've never really done anything about it. And I was like, she's like, what do I do? I'm like, demand that pillow back. You tell them you want your pillow back. And I'm like, you go down there and you tell them with force, like be stern about it. I want my pillow back and you better put it back. I'll go right back upstairs. But when I come back down, I better see that pillow, And so she's like, okay. So she was like, I'm mad at this point. She's like, I'm not even scared. She's like, I'm mad. And so she went back down there, told them she wanted her pillow back. I mean, everybody searched the house. Nobody could find this pillow. And so she went back upstairs and she's like, okay, I'm going up. When I come back down, I want my pillow back. She came back down. Her pillow was back.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, if you ever lose something, guys, demand it back.
Yeah, now I tried that with my earrings, my brand new earrings,
yes.
and I still haven't found them.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's you. I'm just kidding.
It probably is me.
I was going to say, that's a daily battle with my keys. Every morning. Where did I put them this time?
I
We
know
just need
I
a
had
retriever
it.
ghost that just
Something.
The helper ghost.
right.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Not paranormal, but it's a hotly debated topic.
What?
Pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
With
Yes.
with
No,
jalapenos
yes.
preferred.
Oh, yeah.
Gross, you guys.
Yes.
Okay, don't ever invite me over for pizza.
Hands down, yes.
That was our first date. We went to Liberty Park, and I have to say, like, both of us are, as much as we're like, we don't want the drama, we have no problem watching the drama from afar. And our very first date, we had a picnic at Liberty Park. We had Domino's pizza delivered to us in the park. It was pineapple pizza.
Nice.
And there's this van that pulls up, and you get this waft of marijuana.
Oh yeah.
And she he's like out of the car, and she's screaming at him, and he's like, I need my shoes. And she's like, is that her name? And like throwing his sandals at him.
It was-
And we were like, this is the best thing ever.
You can go to Liberty Park and you're going to find all
Oh,
sorts of people
yeah.
over there.
Yeah, it
You just
was
take the trip around the park and you're going to see every type of people.
entertainment. I mean,
Yeah,
people-
yeah, it was a good date.
It
I
was
would say
so
that made
awkward.
I was like, that's it. I'm gonna marry you someday.
Yeah, it was so awkward, but at the same time, you just wanted to keep watching. It was just
Yeah, we're like, can you listen without looking, so they don't know.
yeah. don't look directly at them. Look to the side, but
Catch them in your peripheral.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Well,
scooch over a little bit next to me a little bit. Good time to cuddle.
well, I was waiting for her to say, yeah, he got out and she threw a shoe at him. And I was waiting for her to say, oh, you put pineapple on the pizza.
I'll try anything. I have no qualms about it.
Well, see, I thought maybe they'd get out and ask for a slice. 'Cause
That,
All the pot,
you
yeah.
would think so. Yeah.
They got the munchies.
There was one time I was there, and there was this, what are those called? The hammocks.
Oh yeah.
And it's Nate and I were watching them, and we're like, oh, there's a person there. And we're like, did that guy just get in the hammock? And we're like, well, that's kind of weird. What are they doing there? You can't see him. And then all of a sudden you see a third head pop up, and we're like, whoa, wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh, that's so gross.
Time to go.
Yep.
Remind me not to ever look when there's hammocks.
You've ruined hammocks for me now.
Yeah, I experienced some odd stuff just hanging out there. You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
People watching, it's another hobby. It can be
It
fun.
is.
It really is.
It can really
As
be
long
fun.
as you stay safe.
Yes.
Well, I've gone there a few times and there's been ambulances that have come.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because we used to live over by there. So, okay. What is your favorite place to investigate?
That's a good one.
That is a good question. I got to think about that for a minute.
You mean locally, like within Utah?
well, just in general.
Just in general, like where is one of your favorite places that you've been?
I don't know if I actually have a favorite. I mean, I love Benson just because it's cheap.
Right.
And I mean, Floyd was fun. We had that weird walkie situation happen.
That was
That was
cool.
weird. Did we tell you guys about that
No,
upstairs?
do
You have
tell.
not said anything about a weird walk.
Okay, so we went to Camp Floyd, and I'm like, we're going to use these little $10 walkies, like nothing fancy by any means.
Like
we're
Hello
cheap.
Kitty walkies?
Kinda,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Don't be
so
dissing on Hello Kitty.
I wasn't. I was clarifying.
there's 3 buildings, but we're like, it works. We tested them out. They're great. And we're going through the night. So we decide we're going to do kind of like a mini seance where we're like holding hands and like, come talk to us. And I mean, mind you, if you're using a walking near a piece of equipment, it's going to make your equipment go off.
Right.
However,
Yes.
at this point, we've not had that happen at any time during the night. Well, we hear, Jen and I and the group, somebody clicks on because we're like, are you here with us? And it goes, I'm watching you.
Oh, creepy.
And then all of the equipment started going crazy. And we're like, wait, what the heck? And then I hear Todd and he's like, who's this? But then Mary didn't hear it at all in the inn because Todd was in the museum. We were at the schoolhouse. And so we were just like, what the heck? What just happened?
So not everybody heard the voice on the walkie,
Mhm.
but everybody could hear the normal walkie communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's odd.
wow.
It was really
And
odd.
cool.
But I mean, of course, that leads to the question: was there a little kid using it? But even if there was a little kid using it, why wasn't it heard on everybody's?
Right.
So I
Right.
mean, it's that. Those are the kinds of questions where. But it was trippy.
The
it was
timing
just trippy.
couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think everybody in the schoolhouse kind of peed a little bit in their pants when it went off.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I think Leslie's was a really great place to
Yeah.
be because you got to see like that thing, like she was talking about on the last podcast, where like the wraith,
Yeah.
and it was like on all fours, and you're like, what the heck is going on? Like, what is that?
Down in the
And you're down
basement.
in the basement, and then they sold it.
Yeah.
I
They
know.
sold it. We were one of the last teams in there before they sold it.
Oh my. They were supposed to, somebody bought that and was supposed to reopen it. It said coming soon. And I forget what it was called, but we drove
Wild
by
Rose
there.
Cafe.
Yeah, we drove by there and it still says
Still
coming
not open.
soon and nothing.
I'm thinking
So-
that's going to happen to Needful Things. I did get an update on Needful Things if you guys would like to know it.
Yes.
So apparently the people who were buying Needful Things or renting it, whatever it was supposed to be, were informed that the person leasing it had updated all of the heating elements, the air conditioning, whatever.
That
Meanwhile,
is not updated stuff.
it was not
No.
updated, and he actually informed the owner, no, I will not be doing that because you were supposed to fix it, not me.
Yes.
Well, that's not what they told the new people.
Of course
And
not.
the day that he got out of there, like maybe 2 days later when they came back in to review it, the heater in the back no longer works.
What?
That's
Meanwhile, after the last people left on the 25th, I was like, you guys just do what you need to do, baby, to keep this your own. It
There
now
you
belongs
go.
to you. No, we did not do anything to make this stuff happen, but spirits will do what spirits do.
That's right.
And I
Yeah.
guess there was like a $500,000 discrepancy between the walkthrough that the owner had with her own person compared to the new person's walkthrough. So
Interesting.
Yikes, that's gonna- ooh.
pretty
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
That was a really fun place to go, though. Like,
Yeah. it
especially
was.
like getting to meet you guys, getting to meet all the teams coming in. That was pretty awesome.
Well, and then you get to hear little things like when we just went
Mm-hmm.
and tell them what you heard.
Oh yeah, so you guys were back in what we would call the seasonal room. So it's a back room in the back. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I heard what I could describe as like a banshee screaming. It was like the closest thing I could describe it as. And I went back there and I'm like, oh, like, are you guys okay? Like, I heard those. Like, I just don't know. And you know, what was his name? Steve Cutter and Broken Wings Paranormal were out there a few weeks back before you guys. And I'm like, yeah, I just saw a little girl. And we've all seen that evidence, right? Where like, I'm like, I saw a little girl. She was sitting right here. And then you see me exit out the door and there's nobody in the room at this point because Steve has also left into the kitchen room. And you see that shadow follow me out.
Oh man.
That's trippy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for all of our listeners, we will have a Needful Things episode before too long.
Yes, we will.
So you'll get to hear all of that and more.
Yes.
I'll have to bring Francis with me. He has so many stories.
So explain kind of what Needful Things is.
So it was an antique store previously. It was also a bowling alley and I think a malt shop or something like that at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think you guys were telling me that there was like a fire, and I never put this together because I didn't know about the fire, but I was like, why am I seeing smoke everywhere? And in fact, I was telling Ryan, like, I've been waking up and like screaming in the middle of the night because I'm seeing smoke, and that's never been a thing before. And we kind of were talking about that this morning. Like, I wonder if that was the little girl because I was waking up with the smoke. And yeah, so it was an antique consignment shop, thrift store next to a mortuary, and it's no longer there because they wanted to raise the rent by $3,000. And yeah,
And that place, unfortunately, is not worth it.
it's not.
No.
It is
No.
not.
It got pretty run down.
Only had one working bathroom because you can fall through the floor in the other one. and
Yeah.
The
one heater that worked,
Barely.
which no longer works.
Yep. So, which is super unfortunate because it was such a cool place.
I don't understand the mentality because here's my thing. I used to do property management. Unless you know you have somebody buying the place, keep renting it. You're going to
Mhm.
still be making money.
Yep.
Instead, now you're out money. Now things are breaking down. You have nothing to hold that together. And guess what? The city's not going to like it when the windows get broken and there's trash building up and
Graffiti, all this
graffiti.
stuff.
And that is going to happen anytime
Yeah.
you have it empty.
Yep.
Well,
But
it's-
really, they painted themselves in the corner.
Yeah.
The
it
owners
happens.
did. So,
But that's that's the awfulness of property ownership or leasing at times. You're at the mercy.
Yeah.
So, so we ask everybody this. What is one place that you guys have not investigated that you want to in the U.S.?
Like a bucket list.
Bucket list, right?
Yeah.
And one place in the world.
Here in the U.S., I actually want to go to Alcatraz. I've never been there. I've read the stories of people's experiences out there and stuff like that. So that's definitely probably high end here in the States.
So like going like at night when all the tourists
are gone, when it's just you, maybe a team or something like that,
and investigate.
Yeah.
Oh, the price on that though, we looked into that.
Well, it's
astronomical.
It's astronomical, and it's crazy because in order to do that, it's considered a special event. You must apply for a special event permit.
Yeah.
And it may take 2 years for your permit to get approved, if ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and then the cost associated with it.
10 grand to film.
Yeah.
10 grand to film.
And then in the world, I can't remember the specific name of this island. I know it's over in Europe, but it's literally not dedicated, but labeled as haunted by the government to where they don't let anybody on there after night because it's been a plague, facility. It's been all these other things. Super, super active from what I have read. But they claim it's so dangerous or the risk is so high that they pretty much don't allow the public ever to set foot on it.
God,
it's like
cool.
One of the only places that like their government has deemed actually haunted,
but
truly haunted.
And I wish
do
I
they
could
patrol it though? I mean,
well, it's in the middle of the bay, so it's going to be hard to get
Oh,
out there.
yeah.
to begin
Yeah.
with.
It's kind of like Alcatraz. It's kind
a
of
little bit, yeah.
You just get dumped off on the island during the day and hide in the bushes.
you say it like it's so dang simple, but if you want to go and
Meanwhile,
try
this
it,
is a joke. We never promote trespassing.
We know we never did.
No
No,
trespassing.
we don't.
Never.
No.
I know we're joking, but just for you people out there that are dumb.
Well, especially when you're talking about the government being involved.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
the last thing you want to do is end up in another country's prison for trespassing or anything else.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because,
well, what about though that place here in the U.S. where they supposedly were making hybrid creatures and stuff? It's kind of by New York. Oh, that'd be creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Or 1 Mile Island or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that in New York, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's not on my bucket list, but I was just thinking about that from that talk. Like, oh, no. I don't want to see what creatures you have out there.
Right.
I'm the opposite. You're talking about cryptids. I'm like, I'll watch from over here. Like
behind these iron bars. Yeah.
High up in the tree, like the Jurassic Park thing where he took his daughter. Well, she snuck on there with him, but yeah, I'm not about that.
So what about you?
Oh gosh. I think there are a few places that I would love to do over in the world part more so than the US. Like the US would mainly be, I would love to do New Orleans. I think that would be amazing, especially because they have the bodies above ground and the floods and all of that.
The whole culture is,
yes. Especially that voodoo stuff. Like I'd be totally in for that. But I think too, like the Stanley, which I know you guys just came back from, that's one of my main bucket list places.
It's worth it. Save
we
your
would
pennies,
worth it all over.
but it is so worth it to do at least once.
Honeymoon.
There you go.
We can afford here in the U.S.
That is true. Fair enough.
We'll be lucky if we go camping after the wedding prices. Like $5,000 for a 5-hour venue.
That's crazy.
It's stupid, and that doesn't even include food.
My!
This is why what you guys do is a paranormal investigation wedding.
That's what somebody actually said we should do. Is Daniel? He said get the McCoon Mansion and charge everybody entrance.
That's awesome.
It would be like McCune would be phenomenal. Like you could charge people to come to your reception.
You can come for $100. I will consider that donation to our honeymoon fund.
And honestly, like you would get people.
Yeah.
If it was like McCune or there's the other place too. I
don't know.
It's Brigham Young's house.
Oh.
By the park.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because they rent that out for weddings too.
Yeah. That would definitely be interesting. But I'd say I'm kind of, part of me is like the Paris catacombs, another part of me is Versailles. Then there's the old Tudor castle where they caught CNN. I don't know if you guys remember this, like 6-7 years ago, but CNN actually posted a guy they kept saying, the security was like, we don't know how this door is getting open. So they put a camera, and on CNN, they were showing it like they think they caught a ghost. And you see this guy like push the doors open, and he's coming through, and he's got that very like Jane Austen, like
I've seen
the
that.
mutton chops and
Yeah.
the jacket.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, this is so awesome. Like, that would be awesome. My mom and I went to Scotland, and I saw a ghost. Like, she didn't believe me. And so I know that those places are haunted. And I'm like, there's this little girl named Elizabeth. She's like up all night. And she's like, oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. And then we went on the haunted ghost tour, and they don't tell you about anything until you go on the ghost tour. And I think it was Tulloch Castle. It was kind of by Inverness. And we look up, and there's about 10 people on this thing. And out of the 10 people, her and I are the only 2 people that saw that little girl in the window.
Wow.
And so from then on, she's like, I believe you. No, Jack, I believe you.
There you go.
She was like, you need to see me.
So I think any of those old places, but I think like the catacombs in Paris would be trippy. I
Oh,
think
that would be
Yeah.
just so cool.
yeah.
Can you imagine going there with nobody in there with even just your recorder?
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
But which part of the catacombs?
Yeah, I
So-
have no idea. I don't know
There's
enough
about
about it.
200 miles worth.
Yeah,
so.
so it's 200. It's total 200 miles underground.
Good Lord.
Who cares? Just go
So-
through the whole
but-
thing, man.
But
Just don't get lost.
so there's the public
Yeah.
there's the public part, which is the ossuary, which is where all the bones are.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And then you have another 198 kilometers of semi-explored tunnels
Mhm.
that it is illegal to enter, but people have found their ways in.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
They have
ways are
secret
Well, when it's that
entrances.
long, I mean, there's got to be other entrances.
well, I've
There's-
watched
There
a
are,
movie,
but they
a
close
horror
them-
movie
they close them
on it,
up.
and it was just the scariest thing ever because I'm like, can you imagine? Like, they went down there for a party,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
got trapped down there, couldn't find their way out.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah.
Yeah. They've found bodies down there. So.
Yeah, we watched this YouTube video, and it was really good. They're just people, urban explorers going through, but they're like, yeah. So we were down here last night, and we went to go back through our entrance, and the Paris police had sealed the entrance, so
Yeah.
they had to go find another entrance, and it took them 5 hours
Holy
to go
cow.
find another entrance.
That's where you're like, I'm going to sit at my entrance, and if I'm not back by 8 a.m. tomorrow, please tell them to knock down.
Right?
Yes.
You got to have a game plan.
but
You do.
the fine for entering the catacombs can be up to 10,000 euros.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay the 10,000 euros than be found dead.
Yes.
Well,
Right?
of course, of course.
So if you're wondering, I looked up that haunted island in Europe, and I'm going to botch this.
Yeah, good luck pronouncing it because I wasn't even going to attempt it.
No, yeah, it's Poveglia, Poveglia, Poveglia.
Sounds like a beautiful disease. You got the Poveglia.
You don't got long to live.
So there's a haunted, like a hospital on it, and it's pretty big, and the water is right by it, right next to it. So, which, obviously can help with evidence.
Which country?
Oh, great. I just turned it off.
Wasn't
guys.
it Italy?
Yeah, I thought
I thought
it
it
was
was
Italy.
Italy.
Small, between Venice and Lido in the Venetian Lagoon in northern Italy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
So
thought
there's,
Venice
it
was probably
says there's
crazy
a
on it.
small canal that divides the islands into 2 separate parts. So
Right on. I think there's some YouTube videos of urban explorers that pay somebody to go take them out there.
well, there's always ways.
Oh, there's always ways.
Can I just
Yeah.
say, I am super fascinated with Venice in itself. The fact that these people are like, we are fleeing war because they were like, it was this little group of people where they kept getting hit. So they went out and were like, we'll just build a city on top of water.
right?
Right.
Isn't that impressive?
Way back before anybody probably even knew how to do that.
Yeah.
No.
And it still stands. I mean,
It still stands. I mean, it floods every year, but it still stands.
well,
right.
it should flood every year. It's
just so
it's
weird.
just canals.
It's the weirdest. The weirdest.
So where can people find you guys?
So we do have a website, and I believe it's just hiddenrealmsparanormal.com.
Yes.
We also have a Facebook, which is also, it's like facebook.com Hidden Realms Paranormal. Or you can just look up Hidden Realms Paranormal SLC, because Salt Lake City. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
You can get in touch with us there. If you have something you want us to look at or anything like that, you can
Yeah, I send them all to Ryan.
send us, a private message on there and we'll get back with you and do what we can.
Right on. Any public events coming up this year?
So we do have 3 public events coming up. The closest one will be April 15th. It's 11 p.m. until 2:30 a.m. at Gray Cliff Lodge in Ogden Canyon. And we are allowing kids 11 and up. The last time that we had some kids out there, the old ice box, which for you guys that don't know, that's where you put a block of ice in this box to keep your food cold back in the day. Kept unlatching. Pre-refrigerator. Kept unlatching by itself. There have been teams that have been out there since. Does not happen. Teams out there prior. Did not happen. The minute we bring kids in, happens.
It happens.
And we tried everything to debunk this. I mean, I was jumping up and down. We're running.
We spent
like
a good
what?
hour trying to different ideas on what could have caused it to pop open, and we couldn't.
Nothing, huh?
Yeah. And we
Is it
do
just
have
like
the
a little
video
metal
up.
hook?
Yeah, it is like it's a metal hook. And you see it just like pop, pop, and opens.
Wow.
How cool.
Yeah, so that was really neat. And the tickets, I believe, is $30 for one, $45 for two. So there are 2 tickets left. If somebody wants to come, those 2 tickets that's it. We had it set for 18. I just bumped it up to 24. We're not opening up anymore. That's it. So if you want to come, I don't want to get day of questions of, are you going to open more tickets? No, I'm not. I'm telling you right now, no. We just can't.
Just 2 left.
Can't do it.
Get them while you can.
And then we're doing Petite Neat Museum and Academy. I've never been out there. So we had
That's
Daniel
where I grew
Smith
up.
set that up for
So
us.
much fun.
I danced there like 3 times a week.
Nice.
At Petite Neat.
We've been there a couple times.
So we had Danielle set that up for us with Ghost RS, I think is what she's on. Ghost Spirits RS? Or
Spirits
Ghost
RS.
Spirits RS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danielle.
Yeah. So we're going to do that one. Prices will be about the same. And I think we're also going to do about 18 people.
Yeah, cap it at 18.
Cap it at 18.
Yeah.
And then we are doing, every year we do this. We always sell out at least a month to 6 weeks in advance. We're doing it with Broken Wings Paranormal this year. Every year we work with a different team. And this is just to promote team bondingness between all the teams. So every year it's a different team, but we do a raffle and we split the money both ways. We have psychic mediums that come out. I always laugh because I always do the psychic medium stuff and it's always amazing what happens when, people sit down and I'm like, oh, you want to own baby cows just like me. And they're like, wait, what? How did you know that? I'm like, well, you sat down with me and that's information that came. So we do that and then we do the investigation, but we have these raffle prizes. So everybody from each team will bring in a prize. We've had everything from $1,000 worth oil paintings to, just movie tickets or video games. I mean, it's kind of just a plethora. I did start putting limits on it. Like, I don't want your own old sewing scraps.
What?
Like, I shouldn't have, if I can't tell whether it's food or a toy, don't put it in there. So I have had to put some little rules on it, but it's a $1 raffle. So if you buy your ticket, let's say you buy one ticket, $30, you're automatically going to get $1 raffle, which you can put your name on the back of it. You put it in any mason jar going to that prize.
Right.
If at the end of the night we have, 10 prizes, but there's 3 where nobody put anything in, we take all the leftover ones and we put it into a big bucket and we will pull from that big bucket and somebody will go home with that gift.
That's
Right.
cool.
Or that prize.
That's neat.
And then the readings are 3 cards. So you can do 1 big question for a 3-card pool or get 3 small questions with 3 separate cards. So that's kind of how we do that. So it keeps it really moving fast. And I don't know, it's amazing. I love doing
It's a lot
readings.
going on. So that's cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So where can people find tickets?
So if you go to Hidden Realms Paranormal on Facebook, we do have our events on there. And then if you go to hiddenrealmsparanormal.com and go to events, it'll tell you, and it has a link to how to go to that direct ticket sell. And we sell them through ticketsource.us. And we do not make it like, even though, we are taking your money, we consider it a donation because what we are doing is not paying ourselves. Like Ryan and I do not get a paycheck from this. What we do instead is we use that money to buy things like batteries for home investigations where we have to go in and buy maybe up to 10 crystals. We can get away with 3 sometimes or 4 sometimes. Getting the bottles for us to put holy water in, all that sort of fun stuff. We got to pay for all that stuff. Every time I go get a thing of Palo Santo, I got to pay for it.
Yes.
It's got to come out of somebody's paycheck. It's not coming out of my paycheck because I need that paycheck to pay for food.
Yes.
But I don't mind coming and helping you for free. This is how we do that. So that's what we keep in mind with that. So, yeah.
And that's great, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
we have a good time.
we just want to say thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you. It was
having
fun.
us.
Thank you for feeding us too. It was good food.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Even
It was
though for the
delicious.
first hour I'm like,
That's okay. It just makes the show interesting.
oh
I
my
mean,
Exactly.
gosh, my throat talks. There's got to be something like I need a pill for that. What is
Isn't
family
there a
dinners?
shot for that? Yeah.
I know I'm meeting your parents tonight, but can we just like cut that off?
Soundproof it, you know.
I wore a turtleneck for a reason.
And we just want to thank all of our listeners for staying with us and listening. And we just want to, tell you guys how much we appreciate you got everyone listening in. And yeah, we just love it.
Yeah, and check out Hidden Realms Paranormal and, go check out their tickets for their upcoming events this year. It sounds like a great time, honestly.
Really does.
Yeah.
Too bad there's not 3 tickets available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd buy them from you now.
Well, hey, if you want to just come help out, we could use extra help so you wouldn't have to pay.
When is it?
April 15th.
Well, as always, everybody, stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Cold Spot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research.